Hello everybody, so I am here in New Mexico, northern New Mexico, camping where they just apparently on April 15th put a COVID-19 campfire ban statewide into effect. Also in Oklahoma and Texas. So if you're anything like me, probably wondering what on earth can a campfire ban do to stop the spread of a virus? Well, trees don't get the virus, turns out. Actually does nothing to stop the virus. Really, the only reason they claim that this ban has gone into effect is because it might cause a wildfire, a forest fire, and then the firefighters are gonna be busy fighting potential forest fires when they may potentially be needed for future COVID-19 spikes. Help with the further outbreak, the pandemic worsening. So I had no idea when I was on the way up here. I didn't realize this till I set up my camp. I saw the signs for no campfires, and then not until yesterday when I went into town for the first time since I got here. There's no cell service here. Turns out that the statute, code or whatever it is they implemented, it actually bans wood stoves and grills as well. So you can't be grilling a barbecue and you can't be using a wood stove. So here's my tent, my setup. You can see the wood stove pipe. So on April 14th, that was perfectly safe and legal. You can see the spark arrestor there, no sparks getting out. It's fully enclosed. I've used it in the desert. In southern Arizona, southern New Mexico, dry grasslands, never started a fire. But anyway, on April 14th, that was perfectly safe and legal. And now, come April 16th, it's apparently unsafe and illegal. Funny how that works. Just by the stroke of a pen, suddenly, this completely responsible behavior of safely burning a fire inside an enclosed wood stove suddenly becomes unsafe and illegal, and get this, they can give you up to a $5,000 fine or 6 months in jail because you want to burn some firewood in a wood stove or in a charcoal grill. And you can see it here, fully enclosed wood stove inside my tent. So I really don't understand the logic behind this, because I heard I saw some news yesterday briefly when I was checking the internet quickly, and the media pundits, they're all saying that these shutdowns, these social distancings, lockdown, economy, the whole ordeals, everything they're doing, it's helping to flatten the curve. They say it's flattening now. But apparently New Mexico, or the federal government, thinks that in New Mexico, Texas, and Oklahoma, by the time April ends, it's going to get worse, because this campfire ban that they say they need in effect to preserve firefighters to help with COVID-19 and other emergency personnel, it's until June. I think it's actually until the end of June, but it's at least until June 1st. I forget if it was June 1st or June 31st, but at least another whole month after the end of this month when the shutdown is supposed to end, but it may well be, prolonged for another month or another 2 months, or like if Bill Gates gets his way, another 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, till whenever the vaccines comes out, and then it's only going to end for the people that get the vaccine. So, anyway, that might be some interesting news. Certainly perplexing if you look at it logically and in the framework of they're trying to stop a virus. Then there's absolutely no reason to ban campfires, especially here. Look, you can see the green grass. I got a creek right there. I got a bucket with a fire, but I could use the bucket to put out a fire if indeed. But it's wet ground. There was just a foot of snow here less than a week ago, so Really doesn't make much sense, but that's, that's what's going on. The curve is getting flattened. Everything's working really well, but they anticipate it's going to get worse, actually. It's going to spike. I guess it's going to be another wave or another 2 or 3 waves later on. Even though everything they're doing is working, apparently it's not working good enough. It's kind of like the governor governor of New Mexico, really interesting. When he expanded the state of emergency, the mandatory lockdown order, people are supposedly only allowed to leave their homes for necessities, for necessary activities, essential activities, but people still leave their homes for all sorts of reasons, because what's essential and what's non-essential, and who's the government to tell us what is and is not essential? But anyway, at that point, apparently the lockdown was in effect in March, and when the president extended it through April, so did the New Mexico governor. So what does he say in the official emergency press release? He says the lockdown, the imposed lockdown, did not stop the spread of the virus. So we are going to extend the lockdown. This is their reasoning. What we're doing doesn't work, so we're going to keep doing it. For what reason, I really don't know. But so that's a little bit of, what they do in New Mexico. They also shut down all the campgrounds in New Mexico, but a lot of because they say if you touch the picnic tables or the outhouses, you can spread the germs of the virus. But for some strange reason, they leave the, all these trailheads, they're open and they got gates. And you got to touch the gate, unlock the gate, shut the gate, relock the gate. They got the little, hard to explain without showing them to you, but they got little latches on them, different styles, and you got to touch the gate to go through the gate. And they're not just at the trailheads, they're all throughout the trail systems around these parts, because cattle country. And yeah, so apparently virus only spreads on picnic tables and outhouses at official campgrounds, not at fences and gates. And apparently there's a really high danger of spreading wildfire from enclosed wood stoves and charcoal grills, but not from propane stoves. For some reason, propane stoves are exempt. I don't know if the flames from a propane stove are not capable of creating a fire. I'm not really sure about that. Like I said, there's really no logic and reason behind it. There's just so many things that if you really just step back and think about it, none of it actually makes sense. None of this is really responding to a virus. It's implementing agendas and, a little bit of, I think it's a big, massive experiment to see how much we're going to take. So how much tyranny are you going to take, guys? Like, what's next? Are they not going to allow you to cook dinner? Are they not going to allow you to buy more than one loaf of bread at the store, even though you have money and the store has the bread? What's coming next? They've already got bans on how many people can go in the store. Walmart's already no entry, more than one person per car, per household. So, what's next, and how far are we going to let this go? They already got, you're not allowed to go to church. Not freedom of assemblies being infringed, freedom of religions being infringed, your freedom to cook in the outdoors is being infringed. How far are we going to let this go? How many more months of this? I mean, all they have to do is say, oh yeah, another wave's coming up, we need another month of this, and then do more lockdowns because the first lockdown didn't work. So anyway, thought some people out there might find this interesting. I was a little rather shocked, and I'm apparently an outlaw now because of that. Got a spark arrestor and all, but apparently that's a danger to start a wildfire, because apparently the Forest Service is so incompetent they don't actually realize that the majority of forest fires are started by lightning, and after lightning, fireworks, not campfires. And I don't know if there's even one single case of an enclosed wood stove ever starting a forest fire. I would not be surprised if that has never happened in the history of the America. So I could be wrong on that. That's just a guess, a wild guess, but it's beautiful up here. I'm debating whether I should leave and go to another state, but at the time being, I gotta stay here. It takes a while to take down the camp, and I just got here, so I'll probably at least stay here another day or two. But yeah, I'm an outlaw now because I cook dinner on a wood stove and use it for heat at night when it gets down to 20-25 degrees every night. So just a COVID-19 update. The tyranny keeps on coming down the pipe, and they apparently, if this is any sign of what's going to happen, apparently all the way until June we can expect such encroachments to continue. So either be prepared or stand up. You know, this is over. As soon as the people want this to be over, it's over. I hear a lot of people complain, I'm so sick of this lockdown, blah, blah, blah. Well, stand up and get back to business. Open your businesses. If all of us together just stand up and say, no, we're not going to listen, then it's over. There's nothing they can do. There's already been many protests around the country in places where you are not allowed to leave your homes, full lockdown orders, and people gather in crowds, violate social distancing, touching each other, not wearing masks, violating all sorts of martial law orders, and the police can not do anything. They can't do anything when the people gather together and all stand up at once. So if we want this to be over, if we're really sick of it, all we have to do is stand up and say enough is enough. This is nonsense. So anyway, how much are we gonna take, guys? I mean, for me, I've had enough. I'm tired of not being able to go into a gas station because I don't have a mask on. I remember the good old days when you wear a mask into a store and you might get the cops called on you because they think you're a robber. Nowadays, there's certain cities you go to, you might get the cops called on you if you go to a store without a freaking mask on. That's how backwards that is. Anyway, welcome to the new normal. Apparently, this is the new normal. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Beautiful New Mexico. If it wasn't for the leadership around this state and really this whole entire country, it's a joke. This whole response is a joke. It's not doing anything to stop the virus. There's no need to have extra firefighters around. They're laying off medical personnel, guys, and then they say they need to preserve emergency personnel when they're laying them off. Nothing about this makes sense. How come in China, after what, 1.5 months of lockdown, and they got the virus fully under control, yet in this country we're 2 months going on 3 months, and it's still spiking, or there's still going to be more waves? How come the lockdown didn't work here, but it worked in China? Got to start asking these questions. Why doesn't any of this response BS add up? It's because we're being scammed, guys. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. You can disagree. I really don't care. But if you think that I'm a danger to start a wildfire with my enclosed wood stove there with a spark arrestor, let me know in the comments. Or if you disagree with the Forest Service approach and think it's a bunch of nonsense, you know, whether you agree or disagree, let me know what you think. And if you got any crazy stories from your locales, I'd love to hear them. See how crazy the craziness is getting in the no longer free states of America. Have a good one, guys. Till next time. Peace.